Hi Scorpio, welcome to your end of March 2020 General Tarot Updates. It's Serena here. So, I'm just shuffling the cards. And it's funny because I've been doing different ways of trying to get different cards, and some of these cards keep showing up no matter how I do these card distributions. So I just take it as it comes. That's all I can do. Okay, and one thing I want to just note is that we are having a new moon in Aries on the 24th of the month, and this is going to fall in your 6th house of work. And we have that astrological new year there on the 19th, a few days earlier. So that's very nice. If you're kind of dissatisfied with your current occupation, maybe there's some opportunity to experience more possibilities there. Because we have, as the heart of the matter, the Ten of Wands. And this is a card of, you see the person hunched over. Somebody with a heavy burden. This can be working very hard and being and having that sense of extra responsibility. Sometimes this can be because it's just very busy where you're working, so you have to work overtime. But it's possible that you're in a position where you don't feel that you're being properly compensated, because in the past position we have the Six of Pentacles, which can be, you see the scales, which is always about balance or fairness, give and take, that feeling of, exchange of energy. I'm giving of my services, maybe I'm working overtime. For you, are you providing for me? And if not, what do I do about it? Wanting that. Maybe you've asked for a raise and you haven't gotten it yet. And for some reason, what came, it wasn't just, random, but I was also thinking about the person who maybe gets a promotion, but it's a lot more work, and the financial compensation doesn't make up for that. So it's almost like more of the glory of it versus the actual getting properly compensated. The higher message is the Temperance card, which is a card of balance of the material and the spiritual, the water representing the spiritual and the land representing the material. And it's connected to Sagittarius. Sag is your second house of earned income, and actually in June we're going to start to have eclipses in Sag and in Gemini, because in May the North Node is going to go into Gemini. Now, this is going to be your 8th house of other people's money, so you're going to have some kind of destiny in the next 18 months, Scorpio, that is connected to other people's finances. So whether it's an inheritance that is very helpful for you to kind of be financially secure, or if your partner really starts making a lot of money, a business loan that you get, who knows. But the South Node is going into the second house of earned income. So that's the karmic past. And so Scorpios will start to, in May, have to start, examining their beliefs about their exchange for money and what they're getting back for it, to not have that same kind of attitude. Because I think sometimes with the Ten of Wands, it's kind of, to me, like the slave mentality of life is a burden that we have to bear. And, thinking of thinking of ourselves as free agents instead of like indentured servants, if you will. And, that sense of like, oh yes, I have to do this. Because when I look at the card that is the challenge card for you, we're looking at the Eight of Swords, and this is a card of somebody who feels a sense of oppression. And swords relate to air signs. So if this is like a personal relationship, this could even be with an Aquarius. Hello, Scorpio. I'm saying that because you're both fixed signs and you tend to be attracted. I mean, the air element is so different from you that there's always going to be this wildly different ways of approaching life. But that's the one attraction between the two of you. But the other air signs are Gemini and Libra. And the air signs, but it also represents thoughts. So it's like, what are the thoughts that you tell yourself, the self-defeating thoughts, the lies that you tell yourself about life that keep you trapped? Because the Ten of Wands, it's like this person who's carrying this heavy load. And it is that sense of enslavement that is from the mind. Are you a mind slave? Do you have these beliefs that hold you back about what is possible for you? And, they can be very self-defeating. So free your mind and the rest will follow. I think that that's going to be the title of this for you, Scorpio, because it's so true. You don't have to carry that burden. Maybe the Ten of Wands is you carrying somebody else's burden that you have no business carrying. This is what we talk about when we talk about codependency, is that sometimes we find ourselves in relationships where we're doing the heavy lifting, whether it's keeping the relationship alive, calling the other person, trying to make ourselves relevant in their lives instead of having it be an equal exchange of energy, of you call me, I call you, whether it's a friendship or any other type of relationship, or in the workplace. You hired me to do this job. Now you want me to do a job and a half because somebody else is on, pregnancy leave and you don't want to hire somebody else. Well, you know what? Maybe you need to hire somebody part-time, but it's not fair to have me saddle me with more of the work. It's just not fair. Yes, you're telling me that it's only temporary, but it seems like it keeps going on and on. And why do we feel that we have to do this? Well, the Eight of Swords. Something keeps us trapped. Fear. What fears? What fearful thoughts? The Temperance card is about understanding that as above, so below. Your material life is only as good as your spiritual life. And the Eight of Swords are lies. They're absolute lies. If you're in a relationship and you know it's a dead end, and you say to yourself, well, but then I won't have anybody. That is something that you have to burn away from your thoughts. I'm speaking because you know what? Most Scorpios are, you guys are fierce enough not to think like that. But if you have personal planets in Libra, Mercury in Libra, Venus in Libra, Mars in Libra, you're much more vulnerable to wanting partnership. Libra rising, Moon in Libra, Moon in Pisces, Moon in Cancer, Moon in Taurus. You have to override those thoughts of limitations. What's coming in? It's Five of Cups. This is inevitable. Feeling the grief, feeling the loss. What I mean by that is the loss of a dream. But this is not a bad card because it's really a freeing card. Again, you may be trying to stave off something that you really need to allow yourself to feel, grieve, and move on from and heal from. And this may have something to do with a relationship that you know must be cut from your life because you deserve more. You can start that process before you ever take the first step. But that is actually the first step, is to kind of come to terms with it. And then you're going to start to see movement. And you know what they say, Scorpio, is that when you've gotten into a certain, if you want to call it a headspace or certain vibration, that other person will leave your life, or something will happen where it won't have to be messy. It's going to be like the universe will conspire to make the break a very clean one. I'm not saying that will happen 100% of the time, but I think that the more that we do our inner work, it can really go that route, and it can be such a relief. In the outcome, the Two of Pentacles, maybe you're at this crossroads financially. I mean, work-wise, the Pentacles can relate to that. Sometimes it can be contemplating an overseas type of job. And who knows, maybe it's within the same company, but you were kind of, and that might have been something that you always knew was a possibility, but you were adverse to moving. And perhaps now you can see that it's, even though you'll have to make that change, ultimately you'll be able to experience new possibilities with that. The Two of Pentacles can be perhaps starting your own business at the same time that you're continuing to work at your day job. And even if you feel that sense of working a lot, the fact that you're taking steps for your own dream will kind of lessen the load, so to speak. But it might simply be a choice that you have to make. And only you can make that choice in your time frame, Scorpio. So I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Thanks for watching, Scorpio. Take care. Bye.